And if you're new to my channel, I'm all about getting hotter, healthier, and happier in every area of life. I want to help you do the same. Good morning, guys. It is early in the AM. It's currently 6 o'clock. This week we're gonna trial waking up at 5 a.m. every day because I want to be doing a few things. I want to be reading more books. I want to have more relaxing time in the morning before the day starts. You know, I just think waking up early and becoming a morning person can really help my mental health, my routine, everything. So that's what we're doing this week. This morning was a bit rough getting up. We got up at like 5:30. But you know, last night I did not go to bed as early as I should have. So tonight we're gonna trial that again. I'm having a cup of chamomile tea. I did also make some coffee for my husband Dallin, and then I'm gonna have coffee later as well, once I've eaten something. I have my first client check-in call. If you're new here and you don't know, I'm a online holistic health, nutrition, fitness coach for women. Mondays, which is today, I have lots of check-in calls. First one's at 7:30, so I have about an hour and a half, and I'm thinking I want to go get in the bath. A relaxing morning. I need to wash my hair, so we'll just do like an everything bath. I love baths, you guys. I'm obsessed. I usually don't feed my dogs until 7 a.m., but I'm thinking I'll feed them now so I don't have to like worry about it and come back down. Let's do that. Ready? You want to sit? Stay. Stay. Get it. Ooh. One of the hardest things about getting up early now is I really try not to have coffee on an empty stomach. Back in the day when I was doing early morning wake-ups, I would have coffee immediately. It's like a lifeline. I'm looking forward to it. So at least we got our warm cup of tea. It's like a placebo effect. Wake us up a bit. Clean. Have my hair in a claw clip for now. I'll have to dry it later. But we're about to get on our first call of the day. Again, it's just good to be fresh, clean, ready, have some time to myself before an early morning check-in call. Just finished my makeup and I had 2 client calls. I'm done with this morning. I have a moment before my next call, but I kind of want to give tips along this video for getting up early. I would love your guys' tips too, because I'm still working on being consistent at being a morning person and being good at it. I want to get to the point where I can wake up at 5 a.m. just most of the time, like naturally. My body just wakes up. I've been there before, but currently that is not the case. The first one I want to say is making sure you have something to wake up for. You're not just like randomly getting up early for no reason. It doesn't have to be like a huge thing you have to be to, but a plan for yourself. Because if you wake up early and you have no plan of what to do, you're just gonna want to go back to sleep. So for me today, it was having client calls early. So my first one was at 7:30, which is pretty early. And I wanted to feel ready, have a moment to myself, like I told you guys beforehand. Later this week, I have other things going on. So Mondays and Tuesdays are my client call days. Ideally, I'd like to be working out in the morning. So some of the days we'll go do workouts in the morning. Again, I want to read more books, have more time to read. So this morning I didn't do it because I did wake up slightly later than I would have liked. I want to be getting up at 5 and I got up at like 5:30. Typically what I like to do is do a little bit of journaling and reading of a self-help book because it just sets my mind in a good place for the day. It's just really good for my mental health when I'm reading self-help consistently, and it's a great way to start the day. So yeah, have something to do. And then I do want to throw this one in too. A little bonus tip is really try not to be on your phone first thing in the morning. I will check like if I got a text or something, but I do not get on social media. I have social media blocked until about 10:30 a.m. That has been a real game changer for me too. I feel like our brains are very impressionable in the morning, and I've heard that whatever way you're getting dopamine in the morning, your brain kind of seeks out the rest of the day. So if you get on your social media first thing in the morning, you tend to be more inclined to want to get on it the rest of the day. And also, not to mention, our social media just kind of triggers our stress response in general. We're seeing a lot of things at once. You're letting other people into your brain at an early hour, which I think is better reserved for focusing on yourself, having a stress-free morning as much as possible. Also, if you're someone with kids and you're in this phase of life that it would work, is getting up before them and kind of having a moment to yourself could be really good. But anyway, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. I'm gonna set my alarm. I actually use the Hatch alarm, which you guys will see. I'll show it in the next clip. And it's incredible. So it mimics like natural sunrise. So the light kind of turns on for a little while before the sound goes off. And then the sound is also, there's obviously a few options for different sounds you can do, but it's a lot more calm and gradual than like iPhone blaring. So love that alarm so much. See you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, it is the next day. I'm getting ready. I did not get up at 5 a.m. today. So let's recap. Last night, I was having a bit of a mentee bee. If you know what that is, a mental breakdown. I am in my luteal phase. So my PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, has arrived and has kicked in. I really know when it's here because my emotions feel like blown out of proportion. Like I'll be emotional about something specific, but I know the level that I'm emotional about it is so disproportionate to what would be normal or what is necessary, whatever. So I was having a little breakdown last night. Everything just feels, both of my lights are dead. Everything feels just a bit overwhelming. So I decided to just pull back a little bit and let myself sleep in. The light's not gonna stay on. I decided to let myself sleep in today. I got up at 7 to feed the dogs because the puppy, Gus, is right here. Gus, what are you doing? He will wake me up at like 7 on the dot to be fed. So I woke up and fed the dogs, and then I was so tired I went back to bed. And I also did not go to bed on time. So that's one of my really big tips. If you want to be a morning person and be waking up earlier, you have to be going to bed at a good hour. You have to be. That's like step number 1, getting to bed at a good time. And last night, because I was just like behind on some things, feeling emotional, I just took the pressure off and didn't make myself go to bed early. Because I was like, I hadn't eaten enough, there's like multiple things. I wanted to leave this in here because I thought about just skipping over this, but I think it's good to show the realistic side of your journey to becoming a morning person because you're not just going to decide to do it and then be perfect at it. I'm also big on telling my own clients that obviously the overarching goal is to be healthy and fit and take care of ourselves, make progress, but sometimes in different seasons of life or when things change, the daily goal needs to be dynamic. So for an example, obviously going to the gym and doing your workouts helps you get stronger, helps you make progress on your physique. But say you get sick, say you had a really horrible night of sleep, sometimes the healthy choice is to not do your workout and to rest and recover. So I kind of view this the same way. I don't think we get very far when we're really rigid with ourselves, or even if you do get far when being rigid with yourself, you usually burn out and it's not lasting. So I wanted to include this in here because it's just real. We're not going to be perfect, right? And also, just because I didn't wake up early today, I'm not going to give up. We're going to try again tomorrow. I have a client session at like 7:30 in the morning tomorrow, so I'm for sure going to get up at 5. And step 1 is that tonight we are going to go to bed on time. So I'm going to try to keep myself on track today with my schedule so that I'm able to go to bed. I want to be in bed by 9 for sure. Maybe sleep by 9:30. Yeah. That would give me plenty of time to have at least the 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I'll how am I saying this? I'll pick you guys back up on this vlog tonight as I'm getting ready for bed so I can hold myself accountable to getting in bed on time, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good rest of the week. I'm really trying to maintain my positivity. If you guys don't know anything about PMDD, I've talked about it multiple times on my channel, but it's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's like PMS but like blown out of proportion. I've had this for years and some months are worse than others. So I'm really doing my best to find joy and be positive and gratitude and all that, because it is not a fun time this time of the month. With all that said, I'll see you guys tonight when we're getting ready for bed, because this journey waking up at 5 a.m. is still going. And tomorrow morning, we're gonna have a solid morning routine. We're gonna do all the things. I'm gonna show you what I typically like to do on an ideal morning, and we're gonna get a head start and we're gonna get these benefits going. Okay. We are in bed. Blue light glasses on. I'm going to set my Hatch alarm. It's up by our TV to go off at 5 a.m. and watch Harry Potter, of course, as I'm falling asleep. Harry Potter is such a comfort series. I love it. Good morning, guys. It was actually not as hard to wake up today. I do think obviously going to bed early was really good. And that hatch alarm is just so nice and gentle waking you up. It is now 6:40. I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup, get dressed, and get ready to head out. But I'm really glad I got up when I did today because, again, it's just so nice having time to yourself. And I've been out of the habit of having enough time to like read in the morning. And I really love when I read in the morning because I usually read something self-help and it just keeps my brain and my mental wellness in check. I read multiple books at a time. I think it's my ADHD. Can't not do it. So sometimes I will like get halfway through or like 3/4 of the way through a book, pause for a long time, come back and finish it. And that's what I've done with How to Do the Work, a book I just read this morning. But I really recommend it. It is a very good book. So it's not like I'm reading it slow because it's not good. I just have too many interests. Highly, highly recommend it. It's by the holistic psychologist on Instagram. And it is like going to therapy yourself. DIY therapy. Jump scare. I put my lip stain on. Another really good thing about getting up early, especially right now, because we're on the verge of spring, is I can hear the birds chirping. You know, I was up before the sun, but now the sun is starting to rise, and that's one of my favorite things. Like, so peaceful and sweet. So today's a good day with the morning routine, and I'm gonna go, you know, work out and train with my client, and then I can get work started for the day, and I already had time to myself. I'm gonna get to bed again early tonight, in bed by 9, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, getting up early again. I have a Legree class tomorrow morning at 7, but I want to get up at 5 and still have time to myself. So we're gonna do the same thing again, and I'm looking forward to it. I had such a good time last night that we are in bed even earlier tonight. So it is 8:30. In bed, dogs are settled. Look at these two. That's Gus. There's Mana. Typically the dogs don't sleep on the bed because it gets too crowded, but my husband is out of town tonight, so that means dogs on the bed. Today was a real success. It was easy to wake up early this morning, which was really nice. Had that moment to myself. Really productive day. And I do attribute, is that the right word? How well the morning went and like getting up early, having that time to myself, to being able to be more productive throughout the day. Of course, it's not going to happen every time. Like I've had early mornings I wake up and then I kind of have a rough day, but I do think you're more likely to feel more centered and just have a better day. So we're going to keep it going. I'm very excited. Tomorrow I do have a 7 a.m. class. I'm going to Legree. I'm gonna get up at 5 again and do my stuff. Just like how on Tuesday I didn't get up early, sometimes to be more realistic with yourself, you're setting that goal to become more of a morning person or eventually say you want to be getting up at 5 a.m. regularly. If right now you are nowhere near that, like you are someone who gets up at like 8 or 9, maybe baby step the goal up, aim for 7, then aim for 6, and you have to take into account your evening routine the night before. Sorry about this lighting, but you have to take into account your evening routine and the way you're sleeping, because that's obviously going to play a huge impact in if you're able to get up early in the morning and how that goes. So what I like to do is get settled, definitely cut caffeine off. I might have already mentioned this, but cut caffeine off by 1 o'clock at the latest in the day so that you don't have trouble sleeping. I like to have a wind down with either taking a bath, which I'm not doing tonight. I got a spray tan, so So I like to take a bath, read a book. If I do watch a show, like you guys saw, I've been watching Harry Potter at night, and it is great because I've already seen all the movies. I know what happens. Just my comfort show. I just put my blue light blocking glasses on. And then also I love to have a tea. So I'm having another chamomile tea in my cute Gilmore Girls mug tonight. And all of that just gets me in the zone for bed. I'm gonna veg out, watch some Harry Potter. I have some extra time because I got in bed early tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully it's just as easy tomorrow morning as it was this morning. We'll see. Good night. A really good spot. I've got my heated blanket plugged in. Same thing with the first day. If I'm having a little harder time waking up, I just want to be warm. So I take a bath, heat a blanket, made my peppermint tea with a little honey, let that cool down. And now we're going to do, excuse me, we're going to do our journal and read. He's like a little piranha. I swear time goes by faster in the early morning because I feel like I've been up for 10 minutes and it's already 5:30. I will say a puppy doesn't make the mornings as peaceful. Love him so much. So cute. But just not as peaceful morning. Bit of a rough morning. It is now 6:15. So we're dressed for our class. We're gonna get going. Gus just has a ton of energy and he wants to bite my arms off in the morning, which makes it a little hard to, you know, focus on my journal and my reading. Yeah, I already told you guys that. Got dressed for the gym, put my gray sweats on, my Legree socks, like cute little white socks. I let Gus in from going potty outside and it's raining out there and he immediately jumped up on me and put his paws on my sweats and he stepped on my socks. So they had mud all over them. So I had to change those. Just a phase of life. He is a puppy, just a baby. But man, I had this whole agenda of everything I wanted to do this morning and I just didn't have time to do it all because there was a lot of taking care of him, trying to stop him from doing something. But here we are. We're gonna push through. I still have my class, which is obviously part of my morning routine. Everything's gonna be fine. Some mornings he's way more chill than others. Like he'll just have his food and then he'll play with his toys on his own or take a little nap. Not this morning. This morning was a different case. So the morning routine for today has concluded. My class and my little coffee breakfast date with myself afterward. So good. Like I said earlier, the first section was a little rough. Still glad I did it. By the time I got to my workout class, I was fully awake, not like still groggy, which is really nice. And then yeah, the rest of the morning was just so great. And that is my next tip / reason for waking up early. If you are somebody who struggles to fit in time to do a workout, the morning is the perfect time. Before your brain can really wake up, you just go right for it. Results wise, it doesn't matter what time of day you're working out, whatever works best for you. But I feel that we have, as humans, less excuses in the morning. I typically lift weights at the gym, so I don't have a class to go to. I just go do it myself. But I've really noticed since incorporating this once a week-ish Legree class that I am fully committed to waking up and getting to the class because it's a class and I like booked my spot and I used my credits or paid for it or whatever it was. If you are struggling with that or you just do better with classes, I highly recommend starting with like a Pilates or Legree class. They are low impact, but they're still resistance training, strength training, which is, in my opinion, the best form of exercise. Especially if your goal is to sculpt and tone your body, resistance training is where it's at. You get a lot of benefits from that. And not to mention, just like getting that movement in is obviously so good for our brains and our endorphins, and having a hit of that first thing in the morning is going to set the tone for your day and help you be in a better headspace. You took that time again for yourself. That's the biggest thing that I've been blabbing on about these morning routines, is having intentional time to yourself. And I think this could be even more crucial if you are a mother and you're not like me and you have kids you have to take care of all day long. Like, you want to have time to do something for yourself. But even if you don't, even if you're like me and you just have your dogs, everybody needs to be taking time to sit with themselves, work on themselves, do something for themselves. It's just good for your mental health and well-being. We're gonna wake up again tomorrow at 5 a.m. So I'll see you guys tonight, because that's been nice, doing a little check-in at night, hold myself accountable, because again, you guys already know a nightly routine, getting to bed on time, is crucial if you want to be a morning person. So I'll see you tonight when it's bedtime, and we're gonna keep this train going. Hi guys, checking in, getting ready for bed. I need to wash my face because I did a full beat of makeup today. It is a little later than I ideally would like to be getting ready for bed. It's 9:30. We'll get ready for bed quick. Hopefully we fall asleep quick, fingers crossed, knock on wood. And tomorrow, I think we're getting up 5, maybe 5:30. As I've been going through these days, I've kind of realized some days that 5 a.m. is extreme, especially if I do not have to be somewhere or do something at 7 a.m. I kind of think on the days that I have calls or whatever, an appointment, whatever, at 7 a.m. I'll try to get up at 5. On the other days, 5:30 is good. Maybe even 6. So maybe that's my next tip. I already told you guys to start small or just like make small adjustments till you're waking up earlier. But also, maybe don't be super rigid with yourself. If you are waking up at a difference of like a half hour, maybe an hour, it's fine. The experts say to keep your sleep schedule similar throughout every day. Same wake time, same bedtime, which I could totally see there being a benefit to that, but I just don't feel like that's very realistic for me right now in this stage of life. Like on the weekends, I'm usually staying up later and sleeping in. Anyway, like I told you guys, I'm just becoming, I'm getting back into being a morning person. And now I'm rambling. I need to get ready for bed. We don't have time for this. We'll talk more tips tomorrow. Good morning, guys. So funny what I was talking about last night, because it was a bit of foreshadowing. Because I didn't get up till 6:30. So that's okay, because today was one of those days I didn't have a certain class to be to. And maybe some justification in some ways, but it's always good to make sure I'm getting enough sleep. So if I'd gone up at 5:30, I think that would have been 7 hours. So I got 8 hours, which is more prime. And then again, I have a flexible schedule today, so I can still do my morning routine. So I've had my tea, I've done my journaling. I'm gonna read a bit. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna head to the gym. So we're still having a morning workout. Yeah, so I think this is good to include in here, not to be perfect about getting up at 5 a.m. every day, because again, like I said last night, it's not always realistic for me, although I do really love those mornings. It just feels good sometimes to be up before the sun. I think it's good to include it in here because maybe it's not always realistic for some of you watching. You can still have a great early morning routine that's not 5 a.m. You could do 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you know, depending where you're starting. Just kind of having a moment to yourself, prioritizing yourself was the main thing. But I will say there's something magic about getting up before the sun and doing your thing and being awake and then hearing the birds chirp. There is something magic about it. And I did want to recommend to you guys this book I read a few years ago now called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. I really loved it. This book is technically a self-help, but it's interesting because it's like written as a fictional story, which is kind of fun. And it was highly motivating for becoming a morning person, specifically waking up at 5 a.m., but you could apply it again to waking up at even 6 a.m. And he gave a ton of good tips to do it, the reasons why you should do it, and how it will impact and change your life. And it was just highly motivating. I honestly want to read it again. Maybe I'll just turn it on Audible and kind of listen to it. If you're working on becoming a morning person and want to be waking up earlier more often, I would definitely read that book, check it out. Curious to know if any of you have read it and what you thought about the structure. I've never read a self-help book like that was written like a story. Very interesting. Anyway, we're gonna get back to reading. I'm reading 2 books in tandem this morning. If you guys follow me, you know that I read multiple books at once because I think it's because of my ADHD. My brain craves the novelty or like switching back and forth. So I have 2 books. I'm not sure which one I'll read this morning, but one on my Kindle is The Extraordinary Art of Confidence. So good so far. It's by the same author that wrote Not Nice, which is one of my all-time favorite self-help books ever. It massively changed my life, and I don't just say that. And then you guys know I read this one earlier this week, so How to Do the Work. Having breakfast. I've been having this a lot lately. It's actually cream of buckwheat. I ordered it off of Amazon. I can link it below. And the reason I got this is because I'm currently gluten-free, and buckwheat is gluten-free. Crazy. Always make sure I eat breakfast. Always, always, always try to include protein in it. Ideally protein and some fiber, so I put flax seeds on top for that. And then the peanut butter has a little bit of fiber too. 1 scoop of organic protein. But I thought I'd give you one last tip, which could have applied to me this morning, and I'm actually going to make an adjustment with this tip so that I can be more consistent about getting up. Because 6:30 is still early, but in a perfect ideal scenario, I feel my best when I get up a little earlier. And again, I didn't have to today, but I was kind of thinking like it would have been nice because I could have gotten to the gym earlier. I don't know, I just like it. So what I'm gonna do, and what you guys should do if you're trying to wake up earlier, is make sure you're plugging your alarm in away from your bed. So if it's on your phone, make sure your phone's away from your bed so that when your alarm goes off in the morning, you physically have to get up to turn it off, because that will kind of help. You're already up and out of bed, wake you up a bit more. And the thing I was doing, because of course my Hatch alarm is away from my bed, but you can turn it off in the app on your phone. So that's what I was doing. I would like turn on my lamp, turn off the app from my phone. So I think that will help if I really want to commit to a day of like getting up when I set my alarm. I'm going to start plugging my phone in away from my bed as well, so that I have to get up and turn off the Hatch, which I think is good for multiple reasons, because then you're not going to be on your phone right before bed either, because it's like plugged in away from you. So definitely try that if you want to become a morning person or if you've been struggling. I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know any tips and tricks you guys have on becoming a morning person, or if you are on a morning person journey as well. I would love to hear all of them. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm uploading every single week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys!